Is chaos in Kumasi, where the Menzgold customers have taken the law into their own hands, defying a police order. Well, if you're one of those Menzgold customers hoping that the state will step in to help you retrieve your money, then I have bad news for you tonight. The Bank of Ghana has said today that you are on your own. You were warned and went ahead to deal with Menzgold at your own risk. Those are the words of Second Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Elsie Awaji. More from the Bank of Ghana shortly, but first, 7 Menzgold customers who violated the police order and went ahead with an illegal street protest in Kumasi, burning tires and blocking roads, have been arrested and put behind bars. In the last hour, the leadership of the Association of Menzgold Customers have been attempting to get their colleagues released. We'll be live in Kumasi for the latest on this. This is how the day unfolded, however, in Kumasi.
The aggrieved customers massed up at the Amekom office of Menzgold to protest. They blocked the main Amekom Edum Road and burned ties in defiance of a police order to suspend the action for failure to notify the service. Though police restrained them from going on the street march, leaders say they are ready to face the consequences of their action.
Yes, it is against the Public Order Act. What is more against the Public Order Act than when 1.8 million Ghanaians are dying, and we claim that because of Public Order Act, we should sit down and just watch? The laws are meant to govern Ghanaians and to protect us. And when we did peaceful demonstration, when we petitioned Ewoko, IGP, and all the major key stakeholders in this country, including the president, we didn't get any results. So they shouldn't sit down there and tell us that if the government and the key institution, they don't act on this issue, you just fold our arms and watch, thinking that our money will go down the drain and will come to seek permit from police. It will not happen again. With the 1.8 million customers of Menzgold, we are willing to die because we are dying.
The demonstrators had planned to march to the Mesha Palace to present a petition to the Santehene Otufo Osetutu II. They say their action is to compel Menzgold to pay their locked money. They are calling on government to intervene.
We know the overlord of Asanteman, that is Otufo Osetutu. We petitioned his good office, and we have been there on 3 occasions. Anytime we go there, the message is that he's not around. So we want to take the opportunity to go to him and plead to him again to intervene. Other than that, to be honest with you, there's not going to be any peace in this country. Because the 1.8 million Ghanaians cannot sit down and watch their investment go down the drain.
Police says leaders of the demonstrators will be sanctioned appropriately. ASP Gordon Ahianyo speaks for the regional command.
Initially, they wanted to move to the Meshia Palace, but we stopped them and then we've been able to disperse them. We tried dialoguing with them, but they proved very difficult. But being professional, we were able to disperse them without any force, or there are sanctions, there are implications to that. So we have to identify the leaders, call them, and then the necessary processes will be taken.
Have you arrested anybody?
My understanding is 3 persons have been arrested, but I'm yet to confirm that.
Meanwhile, the police have beefed up security in all Kumasi branches of the Menzgold offices. Prince Apia reporting.
Well, Menzgold customers are demanding the intervention of state agencies to assist them retrieve their locked-up cash with Menzgold. Now, the company was until a few months back trading in gold and taking cash from customers and paying back juicy returns. The Bank of Ghana issued several warnings alerting the public that the dealership was not licensed to take the deposits. These were some of the reactions that greeted the Bank of Ghana's warnings from customers themselves who were deeply involved with the gold dealership firm.
Busumi bia me 100 million. Me the 1 billion and abetria. Busumi bia me kasenya me animunyam. Me ba ya ne de misika ama me. Ye nada me enada bia ne akopem se. Ye ne aga na mpanyifo yi. Ade omo sabe rewrem enne. When am di tia me school fees so. One district, one factory no. Ebi nie obi ba o say ehianfo amoye no mobo. Ana wa bie company edi amaye. Say ehianfo meka ho. Na yenso ye won toyen. Because who do sika betuma? Sister woda no wada.
Insisi anu usro say
me dey me sro anya kronfo. Kronfo ne dey wa ba ofie. Na wa wi usika adwane. Where dey otifi anya kronfo. Etimi me sro. Bosu me na me 100 million. Edi na ye chewe. Sister kanokre. Wajuma we bosu 100 million. Me 100 million me ji wa ha. Bosu me 100 no kura bi say go akire oba pa. Me sanji 24 ka ho.
O start adwuma 5 years ni. there's no single day yaba. Maybe me sister started 3 years ni. Yaba yisika ensanye day enka. And as we say, you die and you're sorry. I didn't and nothing no meet me operate human being. Say me journey. It's not that. The guy is doing the job. Well, I think say me sister you 3 billion. Me I don't fear say that not the music big and the guy is doing a good job. Month we say nice we nyabe 300 million every month. Do ya nya ni nyina mom. Me che me mo happy bia. My work is not good. Aduma me ya majai. Me want me to me so ya matching coach man no 500 Ghana. Because me to me talk 50 Ghana a day. E dey hear me. So why should I go stand up half match my no 50 Ghana for what?
So, those who are customers, are still customers of Menzgold. We don't know that yet. But in the past, that's their position. That was their position when the Bank of Ghana warned that you deal with Menzgold at your own risk. In fact, if you, just to translate for you, the first lady we spoke to, first customer we spoke to, says she invested 100,000 Ghana cedis. And she claims that she received 10,000 Ghana cedis every month. That's the returns alone. She says that I say to the glory of God, everything is smooth. The business is legit. This is where I got money from to cater for my children's school fees. This is an example of one district, one factory. Nam1, who, by the way, is the owner of Menzgold, wanted to save the poor as a journalist. And this was a retort to a journalist question to her. And she asked the journalist, as a journalist, do you earn anything close to what I receive from Menzgold? Then there's a second customer who also then, in the midst of the warnings to them to desist from dealing with Menzgold, said, we invested 300,000 Ghana cedis and earn 300 Ghana cedis monthly. Now, he goes on to say, this payment never delays, never. Nana Apia Mensa is genuine. I quit my job because I was paid 500 cedis monthly, which was really inadequate despite all my toils. Now I sleep, wake up and come for my 300 Ghana cedis monthly. So those are customers then, and just the before and after. The before, the bank had the challenges with the Securities and Exchange Commission and they were asked to legitimize the operations. Now after that, as we've seen, the customers now are demanding that the Bank of Ghana, the state agencies, help them retrieve their funds. Well, its offices across the country we know now have been locked up. The order has still not been located, with millions of cedis of customers' funds still stuck with the company. Menzgold months on, after the customers were vehement in defending it, we know has had challenges. The customers are now calling on the state agencies to intervene. Today, we have heard from the Bank of Ghana. The central bank says the customers dealt with Menzgold at their own risk and will therefore get absolutely no help. Listen to Elsie Awaji, second deputy governor.
I have no idea what's happening. I'm sorry. Bank of Ghana has been very clear for a long while about the fact that this was an unlicensed operation. We were not responsible for it. We tried. We warned the public at different points in time. We told everybody if they continue to keep their money there, they did that at their own risk. And that's all I can say about it.
But it's still within the powers of the bank to move in and close an institution that is holding itself as a financial institution and is not regulated, is it not?
Well, we had started the process of close consultation with other stakeholders, which we had wanted to work with. You don't just get up and close an institution. You need to understand what's there. What are they holding? Whose deposit? In what amounts? How are they invested? If you close them, where can you find it so people can get? And so that process, it takes a while. And with Menzgold, we had no visibility at all in terms of what was going on there. So it was a process to unravel the mystery behind it and then at some point to act. But we were working in close consultation with other agencies. And of course, it was closed down by the action of one of our sister regulators. And so that's what it is. But we had warned the public that they were at risk.
So now the public is on their own?
As far as we're concerned, we had issued enough warning. And I think that we had done our work.
We're being told that on humanitarian grounds as well, we should consider the amount of money is lodged.
We don't even know how much money you're talking about. We have zero visibility on that. And we did our work by consistently advising the public.
They are being called insensitive. And not you, I mean government is being called insensitive or wicked as a result.
I speak for the Bank of Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's part of the state.
It's a state institution.
Yes.
And I have told you what we did about it. So.
So that's Elsie Awaji there. She is the second deputy governor of the central bank, speaking today in reaction to the protest in Kumasi by the Menzgold customers. Thankfully, I've just been joined on the telephone line right now by the chairman of the aggrieved customers of Menzgold, Timothy Binab. Hello, Binab. Thank you for your time here on Top Story.
Thank you. Just that I haven't heard it very well.
You haven't heard it very well.
It's very noisy.
No problem.
You can go ahead with your.
Yes. Also on the line with us is a lawyer for one of the customers who also has their monies locked up with Menzgold, Madam Amanda Clinton. Hello, Amanda Clinton. Thank you for your time here on Top Story as well.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Let me start with you, Binab. What's what we just heard there from the Bank of Ghana, speaking directly to the customers, and essentially what the Bank of Ghana is saying is, you're on your own. They warned you, and you went ahead and dealt with Menzgold at your own risk. Your reaction? Hello, Timothy Binab. Timothy, can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me at all, Timothy?
Hello.
Let's get Timothy away from the noise and let him get what I'm saying to him. Let's get him away from the noise. I have with me on the telephone line Madam Amanda Clinton, who is also representing a customer who is already taking Menzgold on. Madam Clinton, if you had the question, same to you actually, because you represent a client who is also seeking to retrieve the money. I know you've asked state agencies to intervene. We've heard from the Bank of Ghana today saying, well, they warned your clients to, in essence, stop doing business with Menzgold, and you went ahead and dealt with them at your own risk. Your reaction?
Well, first of all, can I just give you an example of, for instance, if someone was going out there selling tainted water in terms of it was poisonous, and then the public said, oh, no, we like drinking it because it heals our body and it's nice and it's, so forth. Government would still have to step in if people were dying and other people were saved. Do you see what I mean? So it's the same principle here in terms of SEC shut down this operation a few months ago and could have done it a lot earlier. And everybody has a responsibility because Bank of Ghana, for instance, monitors when large transactions are credited. And so if you've got transactions of $1 million, $6 million, etc., due diligence-wise, you have to inquire about those transactions. And the lady from the Bank of Ghana also mentioned that there was no visibility inside the operations of the company. We would beg to differ because Bank of Ghana went through extensive lengths in order to gather reports, as Ace, the lawyer at Benciencio confirmed on Joy FM over the weekend. They went through extensive research, bought gold themselves, saw the issues, and could have triggered SEC stopping people taking money, as in stopping people depositing money. So if deposits were stopped a few months ago, they could have been stopped a lot earlier. Because I just want to educate your listeners about this. When you're dealing with alleged sophisticated white-collar crime, it's not the first year that they hit. So everybody's happy the first year, everybody's happy the second year, everybody's happy the third year. They hit with the $1 million to $6 million transactions in the fifth year, and then all of a sudden, they're no longer there, and so they don't have to pay people that 10%. And the other issue here is that people are saying that they were greedy. What the public doesn't know is that 90%, 80 to 90% of people who invested in Menzgold literally reinvested. So Menzgold offered them schemes towards the end of their investment and said, we'll give you 15% more if you reinvest with us. So people kept the principal in and reinvested. And year after year, the money just kept turning over. So Bank of Ghana cannot say this at this point in our humble estimation, because if you had somebody selling tainted water to the public and people were dying, government would step in. So if SEC is now stepping in because obviously the product isn't there, then they should have stepped in when Bank of Ghana compiled all those reports and should have triggered them saying that it can't be operational because it was only in the 5th year that it was the big transaction.
Madam Clayton, just hold the line for me briefly. Let me bring in Timothy Binab. He and his other colleagues, customers, have been in Kumasi today demonstrating. Some of their friends have been locked up by the police. Mr. Binab, can you hear me now?
Yes, please, I'm online.
Great. Before I come to your reaction to the Bank of Ghana statement today, I understand 7 of your members were arrested by the police in Kumasi today, correct?
Yeah, that is affirmative. That is true.
What has happened to them?
Your call is on hold.
Today we've had a protest in Kumasi. The coalition of our great customers of Menzgold nationwide, Takwa is included, Kumasi, and then Accra. And then we have a protest, and in the course of the protest, police were around, and our intention was not to destroy, or in order to. Our intention is not to cause any violence to any property. It was just a mere protest, and at the end of the day, we succeeded in a peaceful protest, but.
I saw, Mr. Binab, I watched on television, your members were burning ties in the middle of the road, etc. That is not peaceful demonstration.
I am saying peaceful because we have not caused any harm to any person. We've not caused any harm to any property. It was just a protest. Due to frustration, people happens to burn tires and all this. But in all,
so you admit at least some of your members burned tires and they blocked roads. The police had to step in to clear that so we can have free-flowing traffic.
Oh yes, there was actually burning of tires by some of our frustrated members, and that one was out of frustration. So when it happens like that, we need to come in and stop them, including the police, and they actually condone to that. So at the end of the protest, the most important thing is that we've not caused any violence, we've not destroyed any property, we've not caused harm to any human being. And at the end of the day, the police and us actually came to a conclusion with a normal conclusion, which we handed. We stopped the protest by ending the protest immediately after we've census the burning of tires, and we were almost left. And then there was another decision that that is a reminder to the petition we've given to Otunfo. So the police even escorted us on the way to submit the reminder, the petition was given to Otunfo without response. So on the way, they had a call, an emergency call that there was an order from above that they should stop us to go to Otunfo. And in that aspect, some of our customers were trying to know more about them stopping us from proceeding to Otunfo to submit our letter of reminder. And due to the discussion, some of the police didn't understand, and then they have to arrest some of the three.
So what has happened to your members who were arrested?
As I'm still talking to you now, they are in the police. They are in the police.
The police cell?
They are at the police, and then we seek for bail, and then we understood they were going to give us bail. And for some hours now, they are still there, even though they haven't been locked up at first, but they are still in their office. They asked them to write their statement, and they did exactly so. But they have not still released them, and we are also here to see what will happen.
We'll see what will happen. We'll try and get the police to tell us what's happening with them shortly. But you've been asking state agencies like the Bank of Ghana to intervene. We've heard from the Bank of Ghana today. The Bank of Ghana says, in essence, that you are on your own. They warned you, and you still went ahead and dealt with Menzgold at your own risk. Your reaction?
Sometimes this message to customers as Ghanaians are very unfortunate. Because Bank of Ghana, as at the time Bank of Ghana was warning us, we want Bank of Ghana to tell us even whether they even have that mandate to give warning to customers. Whether the regulators, that was having that capacity or that mandate to regulate the Menzgold. If they were the regulators, why was it that they were having there was this conflict of the regulation by SEC and then Bank of Ghana? Why were they giving us a warning when they knew very well that company Menzgold was operating illegally? Was the warning okay for Ghanaians? So, million.
Mr. Benab,
was it the right measure?
Mr. Benab, I'm assuming.
Was it the right measure?
Mr. Benab, I'm assuming that you have investments with Menzgold, correct?
I have investment with Menzgold.
So when Bank of Ghana 2 years ago issued that public warning, what did you do when you had the warning?
Expecting Bank of Ghana to rather stop that investment at that immediate.
No, I'm asking you, Mr. Benab, if you can at least answer my question. You are an individual, rational being, took your money, went to Menzgold. You had the power to stop your monies from going to Menzgold when you had a warning. What did you as an individual do? Before we come to the Bank of Ghana, what did you do when the warning came?
That's why I'm saying that Bank of Ghana was supposed to do the right thing there. When he recognized that Menzgold was operating illegally 2 years ago, he was supposed to stop that.
Okay, so you want the Bank of Ghana to do the right thing. What did you do the right thing yourself by ignoring the warning and keeping your monies there?
There was confidence in the operations of Menzgold, because we've seen several times of the cordial relationship of Nana Pia Mensa with prominent Ghanaians, Ghanaians having endorsed him, especially he going to the president was enough to satisfy that Namuan's business was operating.
So you're saying to me, Mr. Benab, that a picture with the president was more important to you than a warning from the central bank that don't deal with Menzgold.
Hello,
Mr. Benab.
Yes, I'm online.
You're saying to me that a picture with the president was more important to you than a warning from the central bank.
That was what I'm saying, that the warning that Bank of Ghana was warning us was not the right medium, not the right measure. What were they warning us for? If you knew the person was operating illegally, what were they supposed to do? They were supposed to stop the business at that immediate time. If they had that mandate and capacity. Okay, let us look at it this way. Is it Bank of Ghana that came to shut down the company? If they really had that capacity or authority to give us warning, why didn't they come out to shut the company? And it was rather SEC that came out to. So SEC and Bank of Ghana, who is the regulator of Menzgold?
Questions that customers are still asking tonight in the wake of what has happened with Menzgold. Thank you very much, Mr. Benab, for your time. We need to get a legal opinion on this, an independent one. I still have with me Amanda Clinton, and I will be speaking to my colleague in Ashanti region, Rasasari Donko shortly, because there is a process there that the court in Ashanti region began a few weeks back that ordered that the assets of Menzgold be sold off so that they can begin repaying some of the customers who have their funds locked up. Madam Amanda Clinton, who is a lawyer for one of the clans of Menzgold, the customer Menzgold, is still with me on the line. Madam Clinton, do I have you on the line? I think we lost her. Let's go to Kumasi shortly. Let's go to Kumasi and let's speak to Rasa Saridonko, because he's been following that leg of the story for us, because there's a court-backed order there in Kumasi where the court is on the behalf of one of the plaintiffs is seeking to retrieve monies for a customer. Let's go to Rassus right now. Let's speak to him. He's on the telephone line with us. Hey, Rassus, thank you very much for connecting with us from Kumasi. We know that the court ordered some time ago that properties of Menzgold in Kumasi be sold off so that they can repay some of these customers. What's the latest on this?
Well, the latest is that just a week ago we had somebody who says he's the owner of one of the properties that have been ordered to be auctioned, and he has filed an interpleader at the court. That's the KMA Circuit Court, indicating that the said building does not belong to Menzgold. And I'm referring to the building where tires were bent in front of it at the Makum area today. And so the Amakum building where Menzgold operates, there's somebody who has filed an interpleader, a process in court, indicating that the said building cannot be auctioned because it does not belong to Menzgold. They actually rented it out to Menzgold. So that leaves the court with just the one at Patasi. So if all things being equal on the 15th, then we'll get to know whether the auction will come off or Menzgold will settle Mr. Henry Dako what they owe him.
That's Erastus. Erastus, thank you very much.